Formula E is Formula One's newest sort of little brother slash cousin who wants to be a bit different because instead of going hybrid or just naturally aspirated or turbo anything to do with the internal combustion engine, they go electric. And today we're going to see if it's nice to drive them, or hard or easy, or we'll have to see, because Thunderflash just released his mod, so let's try it in Automobilista 2 and see how it is to drive them. So first of all, we can see here the specs. So you can adjust the brake bias and the boost. There is 335 horsepower, 750 Newton meters of torque, which is a lot, I think, if we compare it to the new one. Yes, it has more torque than the Formula Ultimate Gen 2. 1-speed sequential, 900 kilograms, and quite rearward bias. So let's see how it handles around Long Beach, which is a sort of street circuit, which I think they drive on. I think they've driven on it, but also it's sort of that style of track that they would drive on. So let's see how it handles. And obviously it's quite quiet. You have to be gentle on the throttle when going low speed. Okay, so it pulls quite quickly. Okay, so that's not the boost button. It might work, I'm not sure. Okay, the braking distance isn't a lot. Okay, so the ignition turns off, but it automatically turns on again. There you have it. Okay. So with the knowledge we have. Okay, let's restart with the knowledge we have. And let's hopefully try and put in a good lap. Like this, it doesn't make a lot of noise, which I think is good. But it doesn't turn very well. Okay, let's see what will happen here. So let's brake at the 500 meter mark, 500 yard. Okay, that was quite a bit better. Doesn't have a lot of engine braking, it seems. This car. A lot of regenerative braking, I should say. Okay. I spun there. Wait, it doesn't feel. And also you have the liters thing, which isn't really realistic, but this is a mod. It feels quite wild. Just feels like a quieter and slower F1 car. And also you had that big crash, which I also heard quite a bit of with this car, that it had quite an odd default setup, being very rearward biased. But let's move to a different circuit and see how it handles on a more permanent one. Okay, so let's see how it handles here, but also let's move the brake bias maybe towards 60. By here I mean the Montreal circuit, the Gilles Villeneuve, so more high speed, sort of street circuit, sort of permanent track. But it really wants to slide at these lower speeds and lower RPMs. It really likes to slide for some reason. What if I move the bias even more forwards? Let's move move it to 62. Okay, this feels a bit better. But still. I wonder if this, how realistic that is with how easy it is to get oversteer. Because it feels like you have to be very delicate on the brake when trail braking. And also there, this feels very odd about how easy it is to spin. And also now my tires are burning. So I won't be able to drive so well. But let's see how it handles the hairpin. So you have to go at around like over 3000 RPM, it's okay. Under that, it's just wheel speed, it seems. And I maybe have reached its top speed. Okay, and I need to brake a lot later for the... So this car just feels like a more sluggish version of maybe a lower tier Formula car. Maybe if you keep it over 3000 RPM, it works. It's not as bad. Because now we go underneath. Okay. It feels a bit better, yeah, now. That's maybe the big takeaway from it. Okay, now. Still a slidey mess. So maybe since it doesn't work so well at this high speed circuit, let's see how it handles around the track, which I now just remembered they actually drive on. Let's try this around Monaco. Okay, so welcome to Monaco. I remember that they switched to this layout a few years ago. I don't remember when it was, but they switched it. That's all I remember about this circuit. So it just seems like it breaks traction so easily. Let's move it 65 then. It feels quite alright actually when you're going at these slower speeds. You have to be more delicate on the throttle and think more about the braking, but it feels better. And then let's see the hairpin. Doesn't have so good of a turning radius in the default setup. And I will be spinning. I wonder what tires this car actually uses. If this is based, because I know that monitor is based on the... It's based on the... What's it called? It's based on the old Formula Ultimate Gen 2 one. Because I think they're using a newer one in game. Oh, I caught the slide there. And there I couldn't. So, what did we learn from this? Is the Formula E car hard to drive? Definitely, in certain aspects. And what are those aspects? Well, the default setup seems to be really focused on a lot of oversteer, so the complete opposite of what I would expect from a default setup, since the ones in AMS2 are very understeer orientated for more novice drivers. So, what do I think of this mod and the car in general? If you add a bit of rear downforce, maybe take some from the front, it will be a nice car. But I much prefer the noise, if there would be any. And also, it doesn't feel very, very nimble. So I would much prefer some quicker cars. But that's my thoughts. What do you think? Comment it down below. Once you're done, please hit the like button and also subscribe. My next video, we'll have to see what it is on. Because maybe AMS2 release something. I don't know. We'll have to see. But until then, I've been Racing Legend. You've been my amazing viewers. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.